All right, here we are. Today I'm talking about a book called Reflecting on Whatever's Clever. What is it? What is it about? Well, it's not really about anything because it's a collection of poetry. That's right. I write verse too. So it's dark. This is when I was starting to find my way back into writing verse after many years of avoiding it. I've always been a poet. I was writing poetry since I was a kid, but it was always so atypical, bland, blah. Oh, what a geek, what a nerd. And after 9/11, I wrote some of the best stuff up until that moment. But then after Bush got reelected, I'm like, oh, what's the point? He's got elected to a second term. People aren't listening to what I have to say. You know, people want war. Why do they want war? Nobody should want war. And so I stopped writing poetry because nobody was listening. What it was I was writing political poetry that just wasn't, people didn't want to hear it because they were already overwhelmed by the political situation in the United States in post 9/11. So what happened was around 2013, 2014, I was clawing my way out of a really, really bad depression that was sort of rooted in a professional failure. And I ended up just like really experimenting with verse as a medium. And so the poems in this particular book are experimental, they're weird, they're dark. Some, I would say, are gritty and maybe even gratuitously gritty. I think one of the poems is called Chewing Dirt. One of them is called In the Blood. One of them is called Probability is Fucked. On the subjects of well-rounded people. I'll read one. Okay, so, sorry for the shake. This is called On the Subject of Well-Rounded People. I don't believe in people. I used to think they'd get better, that they'd grow and improve. But they don't. People are what they are. I used to hope that with time and a more concentrated output of work, apathy would subside. Apathy is strong among masses of idiots and douchebags. I used to kid myself that people would change. What a naive idiot I was. I fit right in. So that was on the subject of well-rounded people. Oh, this one's pretty dope. So it was actually published when I revisited my undergraduate education in my mid-30s. I submitted some of these to the student newsletter, and they actually published some of them. This is one of the ones they published in 2015. It was called Fear Not, for They Laugh at Us. And I don't know, I really like this one. It's got kind of a weird vibe to it, but I like it. Racing against the speed of light, troublesome shadows plague the endless sweeping void. Matches don't work in outer space. The roar of the sun is deafening as her fuel supply burns in a panicked fury. There is no consolation if the race is lost. And against the speed of light, we push forward until we reach 671 miles per hour. No, sorry. Till we reach 671 million miles per hour. So this is my math inadequacy coming in. Enter the atmosphere and hit terminal velocity within seconds. And it's rigged. It's always a predestined outcome. Even when we win, we still lose. And the shills laugh mockingly in our directions. Yeah, of course the speed of light wouldn't be 671 miles per hour. It'd be 671 million miles per hour. Yeah. Oh, well. I don't always read numbers correctly, even when I write them. Let's see here. Pop, pop, pop. That's about, we moved into this apartment in 2015, and we just kept hearing murders happen. Pop, pop, pop. Again, night after night after night, people were just getting capped. It was really weird. Oh, the title of the book is Reflecting on Whatever's Clever. So I'll read you one more, and this is actually the namesake of the book, Reflecting on Whatever's Clever. Previously published in the Metropolitan Review in the same issue that my book Squatterism at High Noon was published. So there's a story called Squatterism at High Noon, which has its own publication. I also talked about it on this channel. That essay was published in the same edition that this poem was published in. The sun rises above Brooklyn, creeping up across Long Island, slowly burning away the morning mist, in typical and utterly lame, but beautiful, poetic fashion. Lights from ships moored upon the harbor twinkle in Verrazano's breeze, still visible in the light of the sun. Brightness and darkness allied. Trees have blossomed, others in progress, a seemingly welcoming morning, but I, suspicious at my best, cannot take it at face value. I reflect on whatever's clever in the silly dreams of youth, those I'd be surrounded by and those left out to die. But the dream was never to be. They didn't believe in it enough, didn't push it enough, couldn't be inspired enough. Disappointments passing time. And I was the only one who didn't seem to understand any of this. They joke about it now and perform as if I'm in on the comedy. What is not realized or spoken of is how I feel of it all, that I am the butt of their epic long con. There is no curriculum or syllabus for the pseudoscience of social protocols. Friendships tear apart at the seams, and we forget our sufferings as we move past our failed rock star dreams. So that's reflecting on whatever's clever. The namesake of this poetry collection is a short poetry collection. I didn't actually number it, but yeah, it's not like a Bukowski length collection. It's typical. It's atypical of what you would typically find with poetry collections. Just a handful. Anyway, that's some extracts from my poetry collection reflecting on whatever's clever. And I think it was important to push that because I got another one coming out in the fall, which I will reveal on this channel and some of my other social media when I'm closer to finalizing it. Anyway, feel free to pick that book up at Amazon. Leave a review, leave a rating. If you're into verse, if you're into experimental writing, that book is for you. And don't forget to see all the other videos I made about all the other books I have currently on the market, because I'm going to be releasing some new books this year. This summer, my horror novel, Saratoga Landmine, is going to be released. And I started Saratoga Landmine in 2016. And I will talk more about it when I'm closer to it, but it's been a long time in the making, and it is finally getting finished and released very soon. And then later in the year, another poetry collection, which will be a lot bigger than that one, that will be released. I'm not going to reveal the title just yet. It's a pretty dope title, though. And if you guys are feeling generous, all I'm asking for is a subscription to my channel. Please subscribe and visit me from time to time. Feel free to interact with my videos by giving a like and leaving a comment. If your comment is well-intentioned, I will respond. I believe in discourse. I believe in just having conversation. That's what this is about. That's what my podcast is about. That's what this channel is about. That's what my social media is about. If you have any questions about any of the books that I've pushed in this micro series of me hawking my books, just ask and I will feel free to answer them, you know. Anyway, I'll resume this series once my new book has been made available. Thanks, everybody.